Today, we are making lobster mac and cheese. Let's do it. What's up? Welcome to Transcend the Table. My name is Pete Beck, and I am happy to welcome you to my kitchen. Today, we conclude the holiday side series with a magnetic all-time side dish, lobster mac and cheese. This recipe was created by my good buddy, Justin Cotto, who freed me from the cold, dark world of not knowing how to make a killer mac and cheese. A dish that everybody should have in their back pocket. Luckily, he gave me the keys to the castle, and he was kind enough to allow me to share it with you. So shout out my boy Cotto. Thank you for sharing. Let's check out what you're gonna need to make this awesome side dish. There are just a couple of things I want to touch on before we dive into this recipe. The first one is, let's talk about the lobster. We got about 8 ounces of cooked lobster meat here. If you want to see how we got to this point, you have to check out our earlier video on breaking down a live lobster. I'm gonna link that in the description. And one more thing on the lobster, I have got to shout out again my boy Max Yeager and the Cape Ann Lobstermen for sending some of the freshest, most delicious lobster I've ever had the pleasure of tasting. So shout out guys, thank you so much. Very excited to use this lobster today. The other thing I want to touch on is cheese. We got 4 cheeses in this mac, just a heavenly blend curated by Cotto. We got white cheddar, Gouda, Parmesan, and saving the best for last, Gruyere. If I was a little rat and I saw a piece of Gruyere cheese on a mousetrap, I would die so happily. I would risk it 11 out of 10 times. But the other thing I want to mention is that it is very important to buy block cheese over the pre-shredded. Pre-shredded cheese tends to have preservatives that impact 1, the flavor, and 2, the way it melts. So anytime there's a chance to avoid that, do it. The real thing is always better. So we addressed the lobster, we addressed the cheese. Now let's dive into this mac. Start with an intense arm workout that's grating all that cheese. Maybe you could burn enough calories so this gets to a net 0, although I doubt it. Give it a little toss, then set a pot of water to boil and season it. That should be salty as hell. Go ahead and add your milk and cream to a pot and warm it. Then we're gonna get going on our roux. That's the first stop to a bechamel. Melt that butter, add that flour, whisk that until it's fully incorporated. Then we're gonna cook it until it's a light tan. Should take you about 2 to 3 minutes, at which point we're gonna start to incorporate that milk mixture. I like to do that in 3 different steps. That way I just have better control over the consistency, because again, what we're looking for here is a smooth, velvety bechamel. So take your time, work out all those lumps. Once it's at that smooth consistency, go ahead and season it with pepper and nutmeg. Then you're gonna go ahead and add the cheese. Again, whisking until it's nice and smooth. Get rid of all those lumps. Look at just how it runs through that whisk. It's liquid gold. Once that water's boiling, add your pasta. I'm a shell guy because I'm a veteran. I think that the elbows are an amateur play. Come at me. We're only cooking that pasta about 70% done because it's going to continue to cook in the oven and we want to avoid the mushy pasta. Once it's 70% done, add it to your bechamel along with some reserved pasta water and the lobster meat. Go ahead and fold that all together. And now it's time to toast some breadcrumbs, melt a little butter, add the breadcrumbs, season it with thyme, pepper, maybe a little Old Bay if you're feeling extra festive. Then we're gonna go ahead and top the mac with the breadcrumbs, a little bit more cheese. Look at how beautiful that is. We're gonna cover that, gift wrap it in foil into a 375-degree oven for about 15 minutes covered, 5 minutes uncovered for a golden brown, beautiful mac. Yeah. And last, we saved some of the claw and the knuckle meat to just top it with that everybody at the table could fight over. And now, we're digging in. Hot but worth it. Unreal. Yo, Lynch.
Oh my God.
So there you have it, lobster mac and cheese. And not only that, you have a great basis for any type of mac and cheese that you want. Make it for the holidays, make it any time of the year. It's always a good time for mac and cheese. Shout out my boy Cotto for that recipe, but I also have to shout out the Cape Ann Lobsterman and Max Yeager for some of the most fresh, delicious lobster I've had the pleasure of tasting. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got a sink that's popping with dirty ass dishes and I am dripping in sweat. I'm gonna go take care of all the cleaning. Thank you for joining. We'll catch you next time.